take it easy.
But Terence Crawford has been name dropped by the undefeated middleweight champion, one of the title holders in the middleweight division, Janibek Alimkhanuly. I'm sorry if I butchered his name, but we just gonna call him Janibek.
I need y'all to get the likes up, man. Get the likes up. Smash the like button.
Janibek has been a fighter. I believe he's a Kazakhstan fighter, right? Same country as from Gennady Golovkin's from. He's been having a hard time getting meaningful opposition in the ring. It's been rumored that his fight with Erislandy Lara is agreed upon, and that fight is going to be on the undercard of the Lamont Roach Jr. Eastside Pitbull Cruz card. But Terence Crawford, we hearing rumors that he got something going on, a special announcement. Could it be a Canelo Alvarez rematch? Could it be him hinting to go down to 160 and grab the titles there? But Janibek Alimkhanuly comes out and says this: what do you guys think about this? By next May, I'll have all 4 belts, and if by then Crawford is still holding on all 4 in his division, we'll have a clash of 2 undisputed champions in the fall of 2026. End quote. So Janibek is saying by fall of 2026 next year, Crawford will be, 39 years old, and Crawford still holds all titles at 168 pounds. Janibek said, why not unify the weight class? Now, if you're looking at Janibek, right, he appears to be the actual super middleweight when we're talking the middleweights here. But lo and behold, he's actually the middleweight fighter. Yeah, that's right. He's the smaller fighter than Terence Crawford. And he has a shorter reach than Terence Crawford. However, he is the naturally bigger man than Terence Bud Crawford, as you can see. Funny, right? Funny how that works. This guy looks like he's a whole weight frame, size frame, 2 weight classes bigger than Crawford. But yet and still, Crawford was able to still go up and beat one of the best fighters in boxing in the past 10 years in Saul Canelo Alvarez, and quite easily, I might add. When these guys getting there with Canelo Alvarez, they don't know what to do with him, right? They just don't know what to do with him. And Canelo kryptonite seem to be certain guys with a high IQ, and guys who seems to be more on the counterpuncher side of things seem to give Canelo Alvarez the most trouble. But look, man. What have you done, bro? Right? Because now all of a sudden everybody wants to fight. Now all of a sudden everybody wants a piece of Terence Bud Crawford. But I remember a couple of years ago, everybody, sticking points, these narratives that the haters were using for years, they was using these same narratives to dismiss Terence Crawford as a potential opponent, right? We've heard these guys say these things. Even though they was nowhere near to getting in a fight of that magnitude anyway. But Janibek, I'm not saying he's one of these guys, but it's guys like him that was doing that bullshit as well. But Janibek, man, look, man, you gotta go do something, dog. Right? We not just giving out free title shots and all this other stuff, right? We not doing this anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's 60-40, 70-30, whatever we decide to. But Janibek, man, do he deserve a fight with Terence Bud Crawford? He hasn't really fought anybody notable. I think if Crawford does fight a guy like Janibek, it'll be a situation to where, oh, well, you just beat up another Eastern European fighter. Who is this guy? We never heard of this guy. You going back to fighting these guys again and all this other stuff, right? So that's going to be the narrative. Even though Janibek is a very worthy opponent and it could be possibly one of his toughest matchups, right? I'm not sure, right? It seemed like a lot of guys avoided Janibek. Demetrius Andrade seemed to didn't want no parts of this dude for what it's worth, right? And Demetrius Andrade is a fighter who actually campaigns at 168 pounds himself. So, I don't know, man. Janibek, to me, he looks like a super middleweight already. He don't even look like a middleweight fighter. I would have liked to see him fight Carlos Adames, but it's looking like he's going to be fighting Erislandy Lara. Erislandy Lara is now, going to be about 42 years old by the time these two dudes fight. Erislandy Lara been around for a long time doing his thing. One of the top fighters in the sport of boxing. Actually, one of my favorite fighters in boxing. And he's still out here doing his thing. And he's going to be fighting a very dangerous Janibek. So we're going to see how that plays out. But before Janibek jumping the gun, right? All this, I'm going to collect all 4 belts. I'm going to have all 4 belts. You got to get past Erislandy Lara first because he got something to say about that before you think you go hop right into a fight, a potential fight with Terence Bud Crawford, right? And not to mention, it's got to be something where Terence Crawford is interested, right? You got to get those belts to make him interested. That's the only thing you'll have to get a guy like Terence Bud Crawford's attention. That's the only way you'll get his attention at this point. At 38 years old, it took him this long to get here. Should have been here about 4 or 5 years ago, but he's finally here now, and he's not about to let it go that easy. So you have to come with something, and you're going to have to come with those 4 belts. And that goes for anybody in any of the middleweights divisions. Jerron Boots Ennis, if you want to crack at Bud Crawford, well, you got to get all those belts first, bro. You got to bring something to the table. You guys got to put in some work before you see the mighty Terence Bud Crawford. And that's just what it is. That's what we doing for now. You ain't got to be no super A-side. You ain't got to be no big ticket seller, but you got to bring something to the table, bro. You got to put in some work. You got to go collect some belts like they Dragon Balls, bro. And that's just simply what it is. Because we're not giving out no free shots, because boxing didn't get Terence Crawford no free shots. He had to go out here and take it. He had to go out here and get it. You know what I'm saying? He had to go out here and get a belt. They told him go get a belt. He went and got a belt. Right? So nah, man. Go get a belt, bro. Go get all 4 belts and then come holler at me. That's how we play in this game right now. Even with guys like Janibek, yeah, man, go get 4 belts first. Yeah, Boost, if you want to fight, go get the 4 belts first, bro. Because we're not giving out no free shots like that easy, bro. We're not just doing that. Nah, that's not how we doing it in 2026 and beyond. That's not how we doing it. But Janibek seemed to have got this thing figured out, right? He seemed to already know he's going to get all 4 belts. He got to get past Lara. We don't even know if he can beat the grizzled veteran Erislandy Lara. We don't know if he can compete with that type of style yet. We've seen Janibek, honestly, we ain't seen him fight nobody. Right? We ain't seen him fight nobody. That don't mean he's not a somebody just because he ain't fought nobody. He just ain't fought nobody. So it's kind of hard to say how good he truly is. Right? Because sometimes when a guy don't fight a whole bunch of solid guys, okay, he beat a lot of solid dudes. They may not have been popular, but they was really strong, solid dudes that had a really, really complicated styles, and he was able to get through these fights relatively easy. Okay, boom, we give him grade there. But if you're beating a whole bunch of dudes that's just like, okay, like CD level guys, it's like, okay, man, who are these guys? Who have you beat? Then when he get in there with somebody with a post, then he's a totally different fighter. Right? So we still don't know truly about Janibek, but right now he looks very dangerous. He looks very good. He looks very promising. And he definitely looks like he could be a worthy challenger for Terence Crawford. But he has to bring something to the table. And that's just what it is. But yeah, what do you guys think? Janibek asks, what do you guys think about a potential clash between him and Terence Crawford in the fall of 2026? Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.